Number 15. A Russian police officer pulls a car over at a security checkpoint for questioning, but he barely has a chance to say anything before he finds himself jumping in the vehicle to save his life, and you'll never guess from what. About 20 vicious wolves emerge from the frosty forest and run in unison down the M23 highway. I can't tell if this is computer-generated effects or an unedited CCTV video, but if this really happened, then the police officer gets into the car just 3 seconds before a large wolf trots by where he was just standing. He doesn't even get the door shut in time, and the animal could have jumped in if it really wanted to. The wolves must have recently feasted, because they do seem rather unconcerned with him, but I have little doubt that one of them would have taken him out just for sport if he had stood in their way for much longer. A man films the road ahead while speaking in a different language. I'm not sure what he says, but it sounds like he is trying his best to stay calm in the face of danger. If you can translate this part for me, it would really help.
Berikan ku kekuatan dan jauhilah segala kejahatan, ya Allah.
He slowly turns around the camera to reveal a hooded figure floating in his car. Only the upper half of its body is visible, and there's total darkness where its face should be. He doesn't dare look at the phantom in his rearview mirror, instead keeping his eyes on the road and letting the camera look for him. If this isn't a prop, then what could it be besides a ghost? Number 14. When this man went after a string of banks along the Cincinnati tri-state area, police were flooded with anonymous calls from people who claimed to know who it was. When they went to his mother's house to take him into custody, she was extremely distraught and said she had watched the news and already knew why they were here. The two pictures look almost identical, and the sunglasses did little to hide his true identity. It seems like an open and shut case, but you'll never guess the ending. After some more investigating, they find out the real crook was this man named Conrad Zerdiak, who had bought a lifelike mask for $1,000 and used it during his spree. The mask just so happened to look exactly like the suspect in question. If Conrad's girlfriend hadn't have turned him in, they may very well have gotten the wrong guy. I wonder how many other times a realistic mask was used to commit a wrongdoing, and how many other innocent people may be put behind bars under similar circumstances. After all, saying that somebody was wearing a mask that looked just like you is a pretty unbelievable alibi. When a blue car pulls up and a couple steps out, the gas station clerk notices something is wrong. The woman walks far ahead of the man, almost like he doesn't trust her enough to let her out of his sight, and they immediately go to the ATM to make a large cash withdrawal. At the counter, they continue to stand a wide distance apart, which looks suspicious since friends would be closer. The man seems relaxed, but the woman stands straight and looks very tense. They are just about to leave when the clerk tells the woman to stop. She freezes in the doorway and the clerk puts himself between the two. He can tell the woman is in distress at this point and tells her to go back into the store, which she does. Meanwhile, the man outside looks like he is going to pull something out of his jacket and then drives away instead. As it turns out, the clerk was correct to stop them. The woman was being held captive and being driven from ATM to ATM in the middle of the night. The clerk was smart to wait until she was out of his reach before confronting the man.
Come my bed, I help you, no problem.
If he had waited for police, the two would have been long gone before any help arrived. Number 13. Every single body has disappeared from this Thailand cemetery overnight, casket and all. Empty rows stretch as far as the eye can see, with absolutely no evidence as to how it was done, no tracks from heavy machinery, no shovels accidentally left behind, no footprints, nothing. The person recording cries. Is this a sign from above? Zombies, body snatchers? Whatever the answer may be, this video simply shouldn't exist. Number 12. A Reddit user named Necromimi posted this CCTV of a ghost captured at her friend's home. A translucent figure walks back and forth from one side of the room to the other multiple times, often fading from sight about midway across and reappearing a few feet away. After a while, it becomes slower and moves in place, eventually fading away into an orb that floats up towards the camera and disappears. The remarkable timing of this event rules out any possibility of a glitch, which makes me suspect that this was either some clever editing or truly paranormal. This strange and scary reflection looks like someone is staring straight into the window of a YouTuber named Hatchet TV. It's dark outside and there's absolutely no light, so exactly how this reflection is able to appear in the first place is a mystery. Look up close and you can make out an oversized and misshapen head with a large nose and ghoulish frown.
I see it right there. That's crazy. Turn on the light.
At first I thought this video was obviously fake because he was recording his own reflection, but when Hatchet TV turns on the lights and steps back, the face is still there. I have no other explanation besides the paranormal. Number 11. This Birmingham, Alabama restaurant seems to be rapidly falling apart, with surprised customers still inside, chunks of ceiling lay strewn on the ground, as more infrastructure cracks and breaks overhead. It looks like the ceiling itself is about to crumble, and it eventually does less than a minute later, but you'll never guess the reason why.
Do me a favor. We had the same experience.
A stranger bursts through the ceiling and lands on their feet, covered in fiberglass insulation. Fortunately, this happened over an empty table and not the counter area, where somebody could have easily gotten harmed. They try to act like nothing is wrong as they walk to the exit and drive away. Later, the man is apprehended after a short chase by police. Investigators think he was trying to take money from the back office, but accidentally fell through the main dining room instead. Whatever his reasoning was, I'm sure the customers never guessed their meal would be ended early by his grand escape. Number 10. William Guy is boating in the Outer Banks of North Carolina when he catches no less than 14 bright lights hovering over the horizon.
Bam! What is that? Anybody tell me what that is?
The lights start out tightly clustered on one side and then spread out in no identifiable shape or pattern. They vary in exact dimensions, with the smallest one at the bottom and the three largest on the top. Some people are saying this must have been a military exercise, so I'm including this video of a military flare demonstration for comparison purposes. Take a look and then tell me, does this look like what William Guy saw? These small white flying objects seem to be popping up everywhere lately, and this vacation footage from an undisclosed location shows another one in action. Keep in mind this video is dramatically slowed down, so whatever this is, it's going too fast to be a bird or a jet, or pretty much anything else. There's enough videos like this one to convince me these disc-like objects are real. As for this video, all of the other uploads on this page are random vacation videos with barely a dozen views, so I do not think it's fake whatsoever. A YouTube channel called Sailing Latitude is boating around the Italian island of Sardinia when a freak lightning storm breaks overnight, forcing them into survival mode. They try to outrun the storm at first, but the winds are much too strong and soon lightning is breaking directly overhead. Aside from getting zapped, a single bolt would be enough to fry their navigation equipment and leave them completely stranded at sea. The experienced navigator is able to visually estimate two areas where lightning is striking the most, and they sail between these two areas skillfully. In other words, they basically have no choice but to steer between two storms, and in doing so they almost get trapped in the storm multiple times, like here at 10 minutes and 15 seconds for example. To make matters worse, the winds could change at a moment's notice and bring the storm clouds even closer. Somehow they just barely managed to sail through the little pocket of clear weather, well flanked between two storms. Hours later, a calm sunrise greets them, as if it was all just a bad dream. Number 9. A group of kids are hanging out at a park in New York when a much older man strolls through their group no less than 3 times. In his left hand is what appears to be some kind of small bag with a tightly wrapped camera lens sticking out the middle. The camera is held low and pointed at the teens as he walks by, and I could be wrong, but it looks like he might be trying to stare at someone out of the corner of his eye without alerting their suspicions. Finally, after standing in the middle of the crowd without moving for over 30 seconds, one of the teens calls him out for his allegedly shady behavior. Watch how quickly he bolts and tell me if you think he was up to something no good.
Yo, you're really awkward. I have to know that.
This video is undoubtedly real, and all we can do is hope this man was eventually brought to justice. Number 8. On the other side of this fence is nothing but miles of vast wilderness. Exactly what lurks beyond this point is anyone's guess, but apparently something huge and hostile has been regularly coming into the backyard of a YouTuber named Big Dill for some reason, possibly in search of its next meal.
What happens is this creature comes up against this fence and it jumps this fence. And it was standing right in this where I'm standing right now.
Literally 2 seconds later, this wild and hungry howl fills the night.
I'm getting this footage. And did you hear that?
Now here's the part that's really unsettling. You probably didn't see it at first, but a pair of glowing eyes are without a doubt watching him from the trees. Maybe they were the very eyes of the beast itself, as it changes his way while making that hideous, inhuman scream. Number 7. Caught on a Canary home security camera. This cam caught 2 men entering into a home at night through a window in the kitchen. The shadows of the intruders can be seen moving room to room before their pacing finally wakes the homeowner. He triggers the alarm and it sends the men fleeing. It appears these men were never caught, and this video just goes to show how easily someone can enter your house at night. Next time you hear a weird noise, there's a chance it could be someone entering through a window. Number 6. Here's a video many people never thought would exist in their lifetime. Your mailman could soon be replaced by this headless robot with legs that bend inward at the knee and rubber nubs for hands. Apparently, this design is supposed to put people at ease, but in my opinion, it does the exact opposite.
Digit was designed to look like a human and walk like one too.
I don't know about you, but seeing this 2-leg delivery bot unfold from a self-driving car and then walk down the street to my door might be enough to make me start picking up my mail at the post office. Tell me if you feel the same way after watching this demonstration clip. Is this cool and futuristic or just downright creepy? Number 5. A Twitch streamer named Jake is visiting another country and enjoying the downtown nightlife. It's getting really late and he's about to turn in when 2 girls he's never seen before walk up with huge smiles and start dancing with him. They're acting like they've known Jake for a long time, while this guy in gray lurks in the background. Jake doesn't mind the attention at first, but he grows progressively more confused until one of them speaks in English, so as not to alert the man nearby.
Listen, behind you, there's a man. She needs to help us, okay?
You can see he's staring really hard at the women with a serious expression. He's also standing way too close and looks to be within grabbing distance. When he looks over at them again, they try to play it cool by jumping up and down in fake excitement and acting like they don't even notice him. In reality, they are literally too scared to make eye contact with him, and they're turning to Jake for help.
Yeah, he's still staring at us. He's still staring at us. Okay, hold on.
Wait, do you know that guy? Get that guy on camera.
He's leaving.
Jake hangs around for another few minutes until the man wanders off. The girls hug each other out of relief and quickly dart the other way. I really hope this man had second thoughts about whatever he was going to do, but something tells me he wandered off to find an easier target. This kind of video really shouldn't exist anywhere in this day and age, but sadly people like this creeper are still out doing weirdly bizarre things like this. Kudos to Jake for stepping in and putting a stop to it here. A YouTuber named Sasha is enjoying her vacation in South Korea when she notices a clown in a dirty outfit and a wrinkled white mask is appearing in a lot of her shots. He starts out far away and gets progressively closer until he is practically breathing on her at times.
He looks creepy. Does he look at me?
Sasha plays it off like a joke at first, but when the clown follows her into the mall, she realizes that this is a real issue and she needs to lose him fast.
Because this strange guy, he's here, and it's not funny. Look. He look at me.
She tries hiding, but when that doesn't work, she calls a passenger service to come pick her up just as the man switches from a walk to a run. I guess she doesn't know that the police number in Korea is 112, so she does the next best thing and runs away as the clown gains on her. Her ride pulls up just in time and she manages to escape. Even though Sasha didn't call the authorities, she still handled the situation well by getting away from this stranger as fast as possible. Number 4. The name of this scientific study video from Russia translates to sleep paralysis case number 278. A man is deep asleep until the door opens and this freakish face peers in. As soon as it sets eyes on him, the poor man begins to fitfully twist and turn. Many people who experience sleep paralysis report seeing evil faces staring at them as they wake up, but this is the first time any such face has actually been recorded. Is it real, or just two people acting? Number 3. This cat is playfully smacking around a Brillo pad when it stops to look straight up, ears back completely frozen, almost as if someone invisible is standing over it. Next, an orb floats upwards and makes it jump straight into the air. After a while, the house pet regains interest in its toy, only to stop and look around again, slightly bewildered. It looks at its owner briefly and then follows the orb with its head in a swooping motion. Possibly the very same orb as before. There's no doubt that the cat sees something out of the ordinary as it tracks the orb perfectly. Both times it completely loses interest in the toy and seems somewhat alarmed over an unseen presence. I guess there could be some other explanation, but if I was alone and saw all of this going on, I would definitely question if my house was haunted. Number 2. A man finds a single soft and fuzzy critter staying completely still outside. He isn't sure what it is, but it looks harmless, kind of like a giant caterpillar, and he can't resist giving it a quick pat. That's when its insides burst apart and come running after him.
Super pela público.
What looks like a giant tuft of fur is actually tens of thousands of spiders, tightly clustered together. He shrieks in surprise and backs away from the living nest, but it's too late to get away. I imagine hundreds of these fast-moving bugs have already attached themselves to him and are scattered under his clothes, spreading to every last corner and crevice. A solid stream of worm-like invaders moves in unison across the forest floor, while a dog whines with fear. Listen to the noises their dog makes, and try to tell me it's not warning them to get far away. There's got to be some kind of logical explanation in nature for this, but it sure looks like the start of a parasitic invasion to me. And when another canine joins in, I can't help but suspect this group has discovered something they'll soon wish they had never come across. Obviously the animals are on guard, but from what exactly is my question? I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds? Because we upload a new scary video every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1. This video is also posted on my Chills Narrator subreddit by a user named Bbors. Whenever they find themselves at this particular highway intersection, their Lexus starts beeping out of control.
Okay, this intersection, it always happens here.
These innovative car sensors are designed to alert the driver when someone is in front of the car. No one is anywhere near them, but here you see both of the yellow arrows are lit, meaning it detects someone straight ahead. Seconds later, you can see the right arrow is on, which means that someone is now moving to the right. I just wanted to stress that this never happens at any other intersections, only this one. And according to Bbors, this event has occurred 4 times in the past 2 years alone. With this evidence in mind, this intersection could definitely be the haunting ground of someone who didn't make it across the road in one piece. Thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe because we upload new countdowns every Tuesday and Saturday. Or if you're still not convinced, here are some of our other videos that I think you'd like. Enjoy!